Hey Scorpios, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your February general overview reading here. It's going to be for the whole month this round because your girl Lady Crow is going on vacay. So let's go right into your meditation. The first thing that came to me is true strength is vulnerability. Okay. I also saw, it was very specific, but it really felt like there's a scene, it felt like time bending, okay? It felt like, because I saw the London Clock Tower, and I saw the scene at the end of a movie that maybe a lot of y'all don't know, and it doesn't really matter, but there's a scene at the end of this movie called Queen of the Damned, honey, based on an Anne Rice novel. It was very random. And I saw these two leading characters at the end, which are kind of like a spooky, Halloween couple type, power couple, I mean. At the end of the movie, kind of moving through London in this weird time-bending, alter, reality sort of way. And I saw the Scorpio collective kind of fast forward through different vibrations and states of being of themselves and come out the other side of it with absolutely no baggage. It felt like, I'm just going to say it, felt like a sexy skeleton. Like down to the bones. And I feel like it's going back to what I said about, true strength is vulnerability. It's like you've received the memo around that. It's almost as if you are reclaiming this sense of, oh, I'm gonna let you see. It's not shock value, but they're drawing me to like how, so in Queen of the Damned, there are vampires running around, right? It's Anne Rice, you don't say. And there's this certain sense of like, look upon my vampiricness with shock and awe and enjoying showing people your true self. Not being afraid of it, not even accepting and allowing it, even though it may be uncomfortable. This was enjoying it, okay? Which is really, really cool. Oh, this is what's underneath. All of the protection, all of the, societal and social conditioning. Well, I guess that's a synonym. All of the social conditioning, all of those self-imposed perceived limitations and ideas of what I should and should not be or should and should not look like. I saw you as the Scorpio collective, like kind of opening your trench coat, you know what I mean? And going, but like in a really good way, like a skeleton underneath there, but in a really like positive, amazing way. Like it's very, I'm just going to say, like, it's very Halloween vibes for some reason. It's very, very cool. You feel like you're in and of your natural element of the death key. Okay? It really does feel very empowered and like you're living your best Scorpio death key Halloween-y life where you're just like, this is who I am, fresh skin, right? It's really cool. God, why does this make so much sense? So speaking of fresh skin, earthworm. So did you know that the earthworm has 5 hearts? It do. 5 hearts, the number of what? Change and transformation. I'm sensing a theme. I really like this because it's one of those things where, remember when I saw you shedding these different vibrations or aspects, if something about the physical form is changing. Something about the physical form is changing. Some of you, this could be literal for some of you, where your physical body's changing or how you look. It's just something to do with how you appear externally to others is changing or shifting, and you're loving it. Okay? Okay. So the earthworm, I equate this key to the Fool in the deck. Okay, so it's fresh, brand new starts, new beginnings. It's also this feeling of, imagine yourself being dipped into a healing hot spring. Okay, and it's like the healing waters, and it's culling away any energy that is not of your highest and best good. It's culling away any aspects of yourself that have maybe been holding you back, whether subconsciously or consciously, right? So you're being dipped into this hot spring of wholeness and healing, and then coming out of it like the earthworm and going, okay, now I'm going to be damn careful about what energy I let touch me. Did you know that energy is, I feel like you do, your Scorpios, but energy is quite literally transferred through the tactile senses, through touch, which is why when we shake hands with people, like we can pick up so much, right? Whether we're conscious of it or not, right? But I see you being very, very, very discerning about what energies you allow to come your way during this time, because you do feel newly formed and transformed and brand new, okay? It really feels that way. But if you think about it, oh my God, I almost missed that. Remember how they channeled that, strength is vulnerability? Is the earthworm not super vulnerable? Has no way of protecting or defending itself. Think about this is kind of graphic, but you can handle it, you're Scorpios. When you put a fish hook through this poor baby, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so fragile. It's like a baby's skin, right? It's fragile, it's delicate, it has no means of defense. It's just completely vulnerable. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, let's see what's going on for y'all. What's going on from the Scorpios? Why am I hearing Queen of the Night by Whitney Houston? That literally just came. I just saw 5:55 on the timer. Okay. Got the spooks. I'm hearing Queen of the Night. I think you're embracing your natural element, your form. I think this Mercury in retrograde might be extra delish for you. Extra delish. Y'all, let's talk. Remember how I said earthworm has 5 hearts, which is the number of change, and I just saw 5:55? 5 of swords. 5 of swords. So let's talk about this. So I'm going to tell you what this traditionally means, then I'm going to tell you what I'm getting, right? So 5 of swords traditionally is about an aspect of self-sabotage in some senses, kind of like, or in some aspects, kind of like the 7 of swords, but it's sort of like, traditionally speaking, doing whatever one has to do to be on top. Like, you could say this is kind of like entertainment industry vibes. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Where it's just highly competitive and it's like, I don't really care if I have to like literally build a ladder of people and I will climb and step on them to get to the top. And I really don't care about who I leave in my wake because it's about me, right? Okay, let me be fair. No shade to anyone in the business. Like, that's the shadow aspect of that industry, okay? That's what's coming through. There's also this sense of what I'm getting from this of, I feel like you are protecting. Like, that's what I'm getting from this. You are protecting who and what comes near your energy. You are realizing what a commodity and what a finite resource your energy, your art form, it's very 3 of Pentacles, what you're particularly are good at, what your gifts are. You are realizing what a finite resource that is, and that you get tapped out if you expend yourself too much, right? You're like, you know what? Divine selfishness, and that's what it is. It's divine selfishness, which is different than egoic selfishness. This is like egoic selfishness, right? Which comes at the expense of others. Divine selfishness is understanding that in order to offer your cup to anybody else, it first has to be full. And that's something you can really only do on your own, right? I want to say 2 people don't come into a relationship with 2 half-full cups and then make them full by pouring them back and forth. It's 2 people coming together with already full cups of self-love and self-worth that come together to create an even bigger big gulp. Something about that. All right. But the number 5 is your number, darlings, and I like it. And again, transformation change, it feels like you're very much of your natural element of the death key, and I like it. And you're right to be in this energy. You are right to be in this energy where you are protecting your energy. I feel like I'm tapping into some empaths as well, but it feels like an empowered empath vibe. We were just talking about 7 of swords. And of course you're getting odd numbers. Like, there's something about this that's very otherworldly, and I like it a lot. You don't say. 7 of swords is traditionally about self-sabotage. It's that thief in the middle of the day. I feel like your eyes are wide open to maybe okay, this is going to be more than one thing. On one hand, okay, I feel like it's your eyes are wide open to aspects of yourself that have maybe been holding you back or not serving you. You could be surprised by some of them. There could be some emotions or realizations coming up where you're like, whoa, I swear I did not even realize that this can be so many different things, y'all. This can be negative self-talk. I'm hearing inner judge. We all have an inner judge within us, right? It's a thing, you can look it up. But I feel like someone's inner judge is really being put on trial and going, hey, inner judge, let's review the transcripts here. Okay, and if you don't like what's on I feel like you are really, really seeing things clearly. You're going, hey, inner judge, and I do feel like this is a lot about you. I'm going to get to the second half of this in a second. But you're going, hey, inner judge, I'm going to put you on the trial, and I want your qualifications for why you are freaking qualified to judge me and tell me about myself. And I'm seeing the image, this is very specific, and it's an example. I'm seeing someone pick up a slice of pizza and go to eat it, and then the inner judge going, should you be doing that? Like, that's an example of an inner judge. Or you text someone and they don't text you back when normally they do or whatever, and you need them and they don't text back, and your inner judge goes, see, they don't really like you. See, they don't really care. They're not texting you back. That's an inner judge. Or I'm not good enough to get that job, or I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not qualified. I just heard that. Ooh, hello, car horn. I'm not qualified. I just heard, I'm not qualified. Yes, you are. Because guess what? There's traditional education, and then there's the school of life and experience, honey. And why do I feel like I'm talking to a group of y'all who is really well versed in the school of life? For real. Okay, so the other aspect of this that I'm picking up on, I feel like there's like an edge to my voice, like with these swords. And I'm really drawn to the fact that the swords are very sharp and this is very gentle, this energy. I feel like you're in a place where you're like, only earth and water is allowed through my atmosphere at this time. It's interesting. And you're right to be in that place. I feel like you've gone through a transformation by fire, and you're like, you know what? Zero F's given about anyone or anything that has a problem with that, but I need to insulate, protect, and kind of recalibrate. Exoskeleton. Okay, anyway, the second half of this is that for others of you, yeah, this is more about just you. These are people in your environment that you may be seeing in a whole new way. They're like, okay, it's not that they don't mean well, but I don't know. I think we're in different vibrations. I'm in a new vibration. Now listen, let's talk, real talk. The earthworm is not formed out of like an easy vacation life of, golden handcuffs where things are, so hard because I have all this privilege. The earthworm is formed out of the mud, out of the true shit of life. Real talk. Okay? So this is saying that you've been through some shit here recently, and that's what it is, okay? So because you've come up from that, why wouldn't you protect where you are? And I keep hearing that, protect. You're closing in the ranks, and I like it, okay? You are in a high discernment, and I feel like you're almost in a Queen of Swords position, and you're right to be. I like it. Okay, what else is going on? Interesting. I'm hearing if I were king of the forest, if I were king of the forest, the cowardly lion from Wizard of Oz. What did he ask from the wizard? Hold on. Courage. Okay. I feel like there's something about that. A newfound courage, or we could, equate it to like 0 F's given, but there's something about that. Ace of Swords. This is the Swords reading. I'm living for it in every single way. So the Ace of Swords, I really love this because this is that kind of truth and knowing that is absolute and just, you can't dispute it. It's indisputable truth. That's what it is. It's also ineffable, right? I mean, that's what this is. It's just absolute in nature. Right? This is also that Excalibur, that sort of truth that rose from the lake, and, King Arthur took it and changed lives. And I really feel like this is the writer's pen. For some, what is that? The pen is mightier than the sword. I just heard that. Okay? I do feel like some of you are going to be writing something. Why did I just hear manifesto? Or writing something important, or writing, there's something... I feel like some of you are channeling too, interestingly enough. Cool. You know, Scorpios are natural channelers. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Scorpios are natural channelers. It's true. Okay. I think it's because you guys are a water sign and hold within you the energy of the death key. There's just something about you have the, oh, that makes sense with the vampires. It's like you have this tapped in connection to the other side and the other world and other realm and the other realm. The other realm. There's something about that. It's very Gomez and Morticia too. Okay, clarifier for the Five of Swords. King of Cups. Why does this not surprise me? So King of Cups, you know, this is you living in your element in a really fully realized and beautiful way. I'm very much drawn to the purple and the indigo. Those represent the two upper chakras of the third eye and the crown, which are what connect you to your intuition, right? I feel like your third eye, didn't I say your eye is wide open? Your third eye is popping wide open, right? There. Wait a minute. Vampires are depicted as having really good sight, right? I don't know why they keep taking me to vampire land, but hey, I'm all about it. But yeah, this King of Cups, traditionally speaking, feels very deeply, but it's one of those things of still waters run deep. Okay, I was just talking about the lake and the sword of truth coming up from there. Still waters run deep. Feels so deeply, but you would never, ever know it. Talk about having a stoic face, right? Super stoic. The fact that this is clarifying the Five of Swords, I feel like this is saying you are coming from a dispassionate, you are making a dispassionate assessment of what does and does not belong in your atmosphere. It's kind of, okay, I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but it's kind of a turn on. And I don't say that because I'm turned on. I'm saying that because it feels virile. Like it feels fertile. Like it feels very like, okay, it feels like big dick energy. Like it just does. I really don't know how else to say that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, a couple of things here they want me to talk about. So you see the salt water here with the ocean? Salt is a cleansing agent. Okay, remember I saw you coming out of the hot spring? Salt is a cleansing agent. Salt water is cleansing. Remember I was talking about empaths. You are really getting very clear and very firm on keeping your energy your own. You are just in this beautiful protective place, but in a really great way, right? And it's allowing you, because you have your healthy boundaries, I just heard, active and working for you, you're allowed to those who are in your inner circle or otherwise see you to your bare bones with that sexy skeleton. Okay? Something about that. Ooh. So that's a cleansing agent, removing any energy that isn't yours. The other thing they wanted me to talk about, so salt baths, by the way, is my point with that, or taking a dip in the ocean. It's going to help with this in a big way. Okay? Because I'm just going to say it. I feel like going into this time, your perception may have been a bit diluted, like muddy waters as opposed to clean waters, okay? Salt water can help with that, but it's like it doesn't last too long, but that definitely happened. But sometimes you got to go through that diluted perception in order to recognize when things are clear again. And then you can remember how you got there. You know, quick story, because this is coming up. So I was I come from the theater world. This isn't News at 9. But I did a production of Macbeth. Macbeth. Five of Swords and Seven of Swords is Macbeth all day long, honey. I'm obsessed. I did a production of Macbeth, and I had this director who we would do a scene from the show. We would do it, and then he would say, "Do you know what you did? Do you know what you did?" Meaning, he liked what we did. Can you recreate it? And I feel like and if we didn't know what we did, we had to do it again and then literally map it out Two of Wands style and be like, oh, I used this sensory here. I did this, emphasis on this verb here. And then I cross stage left at this point, whatever it was, right? Why do I feel like it's so important to ask you, do you know what you did? Do you know what you did to get you from a somewhat diluted or emotional perspective into this dispassionate assessment of what you deserve, what you're worth, who's allowed into the VIP and who is not? King of Cups. All right. Okay, Seven of Swords. Doing a vampiric version of Macbeth would be interesting. It just popped into my mind. Actually, I think that's a terrible idea. But I would definitely go see that show. Okay. High Priestess here. I mean, this is not news at 9. I mean, hi, this is what we've been talking about to clarify the Seven of Swords here. So this is Aquarius energy right here with the High Priestess, number 2 key. We are in Aquarius season. This is tapping into your intuition, darlings. This is also, she protects the secret scrolls of knowledge. Can you see that scroll? Yeah. She protects the secret scroll of knowledge. See where I'm going with this? And only reveals it to those who are worthy under the light of the moon. We're coming up to the full moon here, Mercury retrograde, all that good stuff. She even got her black cat over here. I told you this felt like Halloween, right? Or Samhain, if that's your zhuzh. So tapping into your intuition here, letting it work in front. Maiden Mother Crone. Why am I? Oh, okay. She's wearing the symbol of the Maiden Mother Crone. Is that a diadem? I don't know. On her little crown here. There's something about the cycles and the moon cycles of life and where you are. I feel like you as Scorpio, there's something about the waning and the waxing of the moon cycles for you. Do you see how this looks like a moon with the circle here? Okay. Stay with me here. It's getting specific. Okay. We wax towards a full moon, we wane towards a new moon. I'm getting a really specific message. If anyone is born during the time when the moon was waning towards a new moon, you have special psychic abilities. Why do I feel like I'm reading for people who were born during the waning moon? It's okay if you weren't, but there's something about that. So let me make it a larger whole, okay? Because this feels like a new moon is my point with this, okay? And I'm just drawn to the fact that the moon's here, okay? Maiden Mother Crone, cycles of life. Yeah, I'm feeling kids for some of you too. During this time of when the moon is waxing, when it is moving towards its fullness, there's this saying of like, oh, during the full moon, that's when all the crazies come out. That's when the werewolves turn. That's when the yada, yada, yada. So I feel like this diluted sense of perception or high emotion or anxiety has a lot to, we can kind of look at that in terms of the waxing moon. Okay, you're going towards the full moon, and now I feel like you're going into the period of the wane, where you're going towards the new moon. Okay, it's the denouement. Okay, it's the denouement. So it's all good. It's luscious and wonderful, and it is as though you are rising like Lazarus and going, I'm completely different than I was before. I had to go through that. Why do I feel like you guys went through some sort of like werewolf transformation or some sort of effect where maybe you didn't feel like yourself? Or you felt more emotional, or you just felt more raw, less badass, but not really, in a way. More amoebic. Why do I want to say amoebic? Anyway, you are now in the waning cycle, was my long and drawn out point there. Tapping in your intuition. Your abilities are stronger because of it. I feel like you were part of this whole thing in creating this new aspect of yourself where your abilities are growing, you're stepping into a new cycle and power of your life, is that you were... So when a computer, right, is being updated, you can't use it. It's being updated and then it has to shut down and then restart. You're in between the shutdown and the restart. The restart. It's really good. Spring. Really good. I feel so much spring from the musical A New Brain. That's the song I'm hearing. Okay, Ace of Swords. I hear music, I dance nude and won't close the blinds. I think I'm finally losing my mind. Listen to that song. I feel so much spring. That is literally the theme of this reading, okay? And Werewolves of London, I think I'm hearing too. But it's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dance with your shadow side. It's a beautiful dance with every aspect of yourself that you've been. It's sending love and compassion to yourself in all directions of time. Okay? Ace of Swords. Oh my God, I'm not. Ooh, Ace of Swords at the bottom of this deck. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up because I'm just gonna repeat myself at this point. This is Ten of Swords. I do want to point out that they both have lavender, and well, actually, I don't know if that's lavender. That's not lavender, but you know what? I'm calling it lavender because it feels that way. Which is lavender right here too. Serenity and calm, okay, and intuition as well. Ten of Swords, look at this owl here seeing through, the sun lives through the owl at night, right? Sees just as well during the nighttime as it does during the day. It carries the sun with them. I feel like that is a clue as to why you're here and your purpose that you're moving towards as well, especially with that writer's pen. I feel like some of you guys are writing something either for yourself and for others that is going to be a source of illumination and truth. And I keep hearing manifesto or truth. Truth on the pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, feels very important. So this is a complete ending from which new life emerges. And yes, it looks very Halloween-y, and that's what it is. Complete and full ending from which new life, truth, direction, honor emerges. Okay? Brills. Let's get an oracle. I feel like a goddess. Let's do it. Woo! All right. There's something about being heard too. I think you might be coming into a place where you're noticing who isn't listening and who is. Do you know what I mean? There's something about being heard. There really, really is. Okay. Oh, this is so nice. It's kind of a counter energy to this Halloween theme that I'm feeling here, but I'm obsessed. Remember when I said I felt kids for some of you? I feel like for some of you, it's going to be from the mouth of babes. Like there's a kid or children that say something or have you look at something in a new way. Some of you guys could be thinking about your childhood and writing about it, right? Or literal kids. This is Mother Mary. I want to say something very quickly. Yes, her origin point is from the Judeo-Christian faith, okay? But I want to be careful with how I frame this here. I love Mother Mary very much. But there's kind of this, thought form where it's like, well, if I didn't come from a Judeo-Christian faith, how can Mother Mary be alive within and around me? And that's just not it. She's absolutely alive and around you. By the way, her symbol is the rose, so I love that she's coming up here. Especially if you smell roses. If you see rose, that is very much her symbol. She is the divine feminine incarnate. Okay? So it's really about the all mother. And I'm going to be, there's a lot that I feel about this, but really it's the name for an old energy that predates, in my opinion, this Judeo-Christian context. Okay? Okay. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. And that's just what it is. And look at all this divine help and support that's around you. I absolutely love it. Smoke signals. I think you're getting a lot of signs and synchronicities from the universe and your guides. I feel like they're sending up smoke signals of information to you. Make sure that you're in a place to receive it, a la the High Priestess. And I'm hearing automatic writing and channeling. It's very important. Writing down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Old witches lore. In order to remember your dreams, if you have trouble with that, keep a dream journal right by your bed. And before you put your feet on the ground or look at, I know this is like really kitschy, but I'm going there. Before you put your feet on the ground or look out of a window, write down your dream and you'll retain it a little bit better. Okay? All right. Yeah, it's a little hocus pocus, but have we met? Okay, my beautiful Scorpios. I love this so much for you. This is your February general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. Listen, I live for reading your comments. It's quite literally my favorite part of this whole kit and caboodle. And with that being said, just thank y'all so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.